Alright, I want to make a follow-up video to the first one I made, which was on mirroring the iPhone to the Tesla, the display for the S550 Mustangs. And so here in this one, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you that I have, what do you call it, one launcher installed. And this makes it look a little more Apple-like versus the Android. I can swipe between pages. You can see I have really simple icons, very different than the way it looked, the Chinese version, which had the orange Mustang and the gauges. I have gauges right in front of me, so I don't really have a need to have them down below. It's kind of a cool gadgety thing, but again, I don't need it. Okay, so I wanted to go through the operation of some of this stuff because I know you guys are going to have questions. And by the way, this is the second generation. I got this about a week ago. It is what is today's date? It's April 6th, so got it right at the end of March, and it has the built-in host. The version that it came with is 4.4.4. I got one update from the seller. It didn't change the version. All it did is add the Google Maps here, and the Play Store allowed that to work. I had tried to download the Play Store, couldn't get it to work, and now it does work. So a couple of things. First, let me get started with right here. It's subdued. You can't see it right now. The Wi-Fi. So I use my phone as a mobile hotspot, and I'm going to pull up my phone here in just a minute so you can see that. But it doesn't connect automatically to my phone. What I've noticed is, let's see if we can see this. I have to go on and toggle off, and then back on the hotspot. And when I do that, we'll go into settings. And you can see Wi-Fi, and it's going through the process on the iPhone, connects. But again, that doesn't do it automatically. So all I have to do is toggle off. Sorry, trying to get out of the reflection here. Toggle off on the hotspot, and then toggle back on, and it will, in fact, work. Okay, so now let's go back home. As I said, I'm currently using the one launcher. It's prompting me here. It won't do that for you unless you have multiple launchers. Right now, I'm experimenting with the Google One, and then I just downloaded Nova Launcher last night, and in the process of doing that, now I'm getting prompted that you see here. So in this case, I'm just going to click one. Once I find the launcher that I like, I'll delete the other one, and it shouldn't prompt me like that. Okay, so a couple things. One, the navigation button. I can click it, and it'll recognize that I'm clicking it, but absolutely nothing happens. Now, I don't really care because all I got to do is hit the Google Maps, and this comes up. So I'm just going to go through that. As you can see here, I have it set to the satellite version. Let's go ahead and put in a destination just so you can see that it does in fact work. Let's see here. I'm at work now, so we'll put in home. It should calculate something. It says about 50 minutes, and yes, I'm going to drive. I personally like Waze a little bit better, but it's whatever. It's fine. I like having the navigation. The whole reason I wanted to change out the head unit was for navigation, because I had no place to hold my phone, and it was just driving me nuts. Also, you can see here in the bubbles, the middle one, you may not be able to make it out. That's for volume. I turned that off because it just wouldn't shut up. But obviously, you could turn that back on and have your voice. So there it is. And again, you see here that we have about a 50-minute drive. Okay, let's. One other thing that I wanted to point out, and I'll do this to show you. Let me go back home. Again, don't worry about that prompt. That won't be there. And let's open up Pandora. I don't usually listen to the radio. I listen to Pandora a lot more. And I just wanted to show that you can have Pandora running, have the music going, and still have it on maps, so you don't have to worry. Let's get some volume here. Okay, so volume on the buttons here do work. You know, the advanced track does work. If I switch left to right, of course, that'll change my tracks. Works on Bluetooth, anything that you're running. The mode button, what that does is it will actually toggle between this. So if you have multiple things going, like right now I have Pandora and I have Google Maps running, it won't toggle in between those you know, different items running, which that would be kind of nice. Instead, it'll go from navigation to radio to music, phone link, so on and so on. Okay, but for now, I'm going to go back home and I'm going to re-click on Maps, and we're back at it. And I don't have to re-input all the information. It's already, you know, it's saved. Now the other way I can do it is up here in the right corner. I can click on these windows, and this will tell me everything that I have open. So I'm going to close out the radio and settings, more settings. But let's say I want to go back to Pandora, I can just click on that and it'll bring up Pandora. So I could switch that way. I just chose to go home and do it. Okay, so again, let me lower this volume. Sorry, I hope that wasn't bugging you guys. Okay, so the reason I chose to go with Nova Launcher, and as soon as I get that installed and played with, I'll go ahead and do another video so that you can see that. But the reason I chose to do that was because I want some live widgets. The temperature was originally up here in the corner, and it was in Celsius, and I'm trying to get that in Fahrenheit. We don't have an update on that yet, and it's really convenient. It's kind of like going from a car that has electric windows to one that you have to roll down manually. Once you get used to having the temperature and, you know, weather or whatever like that in your car, it's hard to get away from that. So again, I'm looking to have widgets, which I can't do with the one launcher, but I'm hoping I can do it with the Nova Launcher. Have maybe the time, clock, and you know, the weather, local weather, that will change, you know, wherever I go, you know, driving from city to city. That would be really convenient for me. It may not be important to you, but it is to me. Also, I wanted the one launcher because I'm an Apple guy. Nothing against Android, nothing like that. I'm old. I'm not a techie. Trying to understand, you know, the newer technology. It just goes right over my head. So this is just not, you know, something that is easy for me to grasp. Okay. As far as like, you can see I have Amazon and Netflix. The whole reason I put those on there wasn't because I'm going to be watching Netflix or anything like that. But I did want to show you that it does work. I put it on here mainly to test the system. I wanted to know, will this have enough power to process this? And yes, in fact it does. So we're just going to play so that you can see that. Really apologize for the reflection here. I'm trying here. Okay, one thing, you don't have touchscreen like pause, mute, anything like that, so no control over that. So in this case, I'm just going to swipe to stop it, and we'll go home. Okay. Amazon Music. I really like using Amazon Music, and it works great when I mirror my phone. Not so great, you know, on here. As you can see, it pulls up. I'm going to go ahead and click on alternative and hit play. And what happens is you'll get this spinning circle that never actually processes anything. So it's like it wants to work, but it doesn't. I may be able to remove it and reinstall it. I don't know, but anyway, it just doesn't work. So that was a little disappointing. I think Patrick was saying he used that Spotify or whatever it's called. Great. And, you know, try that. But I use Pandora, or I use my Bluetooth, and the Bluetooth works fine. Let's go to Bluetooth. Don't ask me how I set this up. Again, I'm not techie, so if I was able to do it, then anybody can. You know, the button on the phone for hanging up does work, but you know, like the sync button to say, hey, I want to make a call, it doesn't work. Thinking about trying the Hey Google app, or you could probably, on an iPhone, you could probably just hold down the button on your phone for Siri and then tell it, hey, I want to call this, and it'll do it fine. But if I wanted to call, here's my recent call list. I can just call my wife. Try to get this in focus here. Don't be copying her number and calling her. You know, that would call. Otherwise, if I wanted to play music, there's a tab right here and it brings it up there. I don't know if I have music up. If not, I would have to select it from my phone. See, it looks like I don't have anything. So let me just go into my phone. Now, typically what I've noticed is if I have played music out of my phone, it'll work fine. Like here, I didn't do anything. It just finally figured out that, hey, my phone's connected. And there we go. Doesn't give you a whole lot of information. It does have the name of the track. Of course, you have your pause button. You have these buttons to advance. I'm going to use the steering wheel right now just to show you that the steering wheel will, in fact, advance the song. I don't know what's on here. Okay, anyway, you get the idea. Okay, so that is Bluetooth. Really nothing else. I already did the mirroring link. I don't think there's anything else we need to do there. Again, let me swipe to get rid of this. Again, for me, it's more about the navigation, being able to, you know, I don't have to set up my phone. I can just go right onto Pandora and boom, it works. And it's kind of nice. Oh, Play Store. Let's go into Play Store. Because again, if you're like me and you don't know much about Android and you're more comfortable with Apple, well, Play Store is just how you get your apps. And there's a search bar here. You just type in what you want, or you can just scroll through and swipe, you know, to add any of these apps. Most of them are free. You just download it, you install it, and they'll be on your home page. Again, home page right down here in the lower corner is your home page. And that's that. And you can also put, you know, these icons up here, down here in this bar. I don't know. Again, this is I've only had it a week, so I haven't really played with it all that much. For air conditioning controls, heating and air conditioning, again, we just touch anywhere in here and it'll pull up this larger screen. You can do that. You can set it to auto. What I've noticed about auto is when you do that, it actually gives you you know, you set your temperature here and it'll automatically control everything to maintain that temperature. And though it works between left and right, it doesn't work, or excuse me, it changes differently, and I'm afraid to mess something up. So I haven't been using auto. I've been just setting it on like low and adjusting the fan speed to control it that way, and it does just fine. I do notice that I kind of miss having the manual control knobs, because it makes it difficult to adjust when you're trying to drive. You know, it's bumpy and you're trying to, your hands are shaking, or the road's bumpy, and it's hard to you know, I seem to hit I fat finger certain buttons, but there it is. Let's see one more time. And it does, once you pull that up, as you guys were seeing, it'll stay up there for a couple seconds, and then it falls off. Let me show you what I was talking about with the auto while we're here. So auto, I have it set on low, and as you can see, it automatically went to max. But let's say I bump up the temperature. So notice that over here on the left it's 66.2 degrees Fahrenheit, and over here it's 67.1. So I can click this one more time and it'll be even. But I just don't know if that's putting any, sorry, I know the fan's getting on you. Let me lower it. I don't know if that's causing anything that's going to have problems. I know some people were having a problem with air conditioning. So what I'm choosing to do is just take it off the auto. Well, that's on, but take it off auto. Oh, if I can figure it out. Oh, sorry, I was playing with the wrong buttons. Okay, there, off auto. I changed the fan speed and that took it off auto. So what I do is I just put it on low, and we're on AC, and I'll just use the fan speed to control the temperature, and that seems to work out just fine. Circulate the inside air, defrost max, rear window defroster. Here's your defrost here, so you can see it's pretty self-explanatory. Also, one other cool feature here on the air conditioning control panel is, so whenever my wife's in the car, she can control the volume. Sometimes I put it up a little too loud for her, so she can control it right here, which is kind of a nice little feature for her. I think that's about it. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Oh, the clock. I did want to, talk on the clock real quick. So clock up here in the top right. Let me see if I can get to it. So this was always defaulting to 4 o'clock. No matter what time of the day it was, every time I got in the car, it always went to 4 o'clock for some reason. I tried taking off the adjustments so that I could manually input it. No luck, no dice. It just always went to 4 o'clock. Started playing around with the time zones, and that seemed to work to fix it. So when you go in there and you, what am I trying to say here? When you select, I'm in California, Pacific Standard Time, it would be the incorrect time, and again it was reverting to 4 o'clock. I went to Mountain Time and everything was fixed. So now it is 10:30 a.m. everything's working correctly. It's between starting up the car, driving, and I have it off of the auto updates, and it's working just fine. So okay, that's it. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. I just wanted to make this video because I know there's a lot of people that are on the next group buy that have a lot of questions, who might have some concerns. Right now I'm really happy with the setup. I don't have a problem with volume being low when I use Pandora on this head unit versus doing the mirroring and controlling it from my phone. I actually prefer it here. With the mirroring, you only see a portion of it and the rest of it's black. So you just look at the last video I did. The other thing is, once the screen on the phone goes blank, like if I'm listening to music and it has a picture of who's playing the group or whatever, on the head unit, it just stays wherever it was when it went black on the phone. And until you open the phone, it won't update on the screen on the head units. So I don't know if any of that makes sense, but anyway, there you have it. Like I said, I'll come back with another video once I get the Nova launcher installed and see if we can make it look a little better. So, all right. Oh, and I'm just going to turn off the AC blower. Hopefully that wasn't bugging you guys. And there it goes. I just had to press a little harder. So anyway, AC, you can turn that off and on there, and then this turns off the blower motor, the whole system. All right. Talk to you later.